Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, but I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So in today's video, we'll take a look at the economic data, we'll go over some news, we'll do a market recap, and then we'll look at some of the trading opportunities from today. So starting here on the economic data front, we do have U.S. building permits come in here at 1.413 million with 1.45 forecasted. Turning to the calendar, tomorrow, Wednesday, April 19th, we do get crude oil inventories. And some notable earnings that we did have come out today. We had J&J, Bank of America, Netflix, Lockheed Martin, Goldman Sachs, Bank of New York Mellon, and United Airlines. As you can see, pretty much all green across the board here on the earnings front. Now we'll look at some news. This is the percent overweight equities versus bonds. As you can see here, the equities relative to bonds has dropped to its lowest levels since 2009. And we do have Coinbase considering leaving the U.S. if regulatory clarity does not emerge. Brian Armstrong, their CEO, is saying. And this is the 3-month Treasury bill yield here, as you can see, moving up to 5.21%, which is the highest level since January of 2001. And we did have Southwest Airlines grounding all flights in the U.S. today due to technical issues. And this is a post from the Financial Services GOP. They're posting that, talking about Gary Gensler. He did testify in front of Congress today, in front of the House, in front of the Financial Services Committee here. And, they're saying they were blasting Gary for trying to force digital asset trading platforms to come and register under his non-existent registration process. And there was a lot of funny stuff that came out today when he was testifying. It was really nice to see because, dude, Gary he just really needs to get out of there. And this was Congressman Patrick McHenry here. He asked Gary like at least 3 or 4 times straight up, is Ethereum a security? And Gary refused to answer. I do recommend going and watching these videos if you just want to see how ridiculous all this is. And this is Gary again saying, pretty much blaming the Silicon Valley Bank collapse here on cryptocurrency and stablecoins. And this is Congressman Warren Davidson here, straight up to Gary's face, telling him that they are putting through legislation in order to fire him from being the head of the SEC. It's really nice to see there. And then we also had, this is another post from the Financial Services GOP here, saying that he is failing to protect investors. So yeah, now we'll turn to the markets here. We'll start in the debt market, looking at the 10-year yield. Starting here, we do have a red day on the 10-year yield here, getting pretty close to that upper extreme here. Now we'll look at the dollar. We do have a red day here on the dollar after we're getting rejected here at that midline. Still sitting down here at the lower end of this daily range that we've been in for quite some time. Looking at the stock market, we do have a red day here in the stock market, getting a gap up and then, turning red on the day. Still green on the week. Looking at crypto, we have Bitcoin here getting a pretty nice green day after bouncing off that midline here on the daily chart. XRP, we do have a green day as well here in XRP, getting extremely squeezed here on the daily chart. Still holding above this midline. So, definitely be looking for a move in XRP to come up, pretty soon here over the next week or so. Now we'll look at commodities. We do have U.S. oil here getting a green day, still just sitting up here in this range we've been in between this, about, we'll call it like $80 and, $83.50 level. Yeah, just still sitting up here after this big gap up we got. So now we'll look at gold. We do have gold getting a green day after bouncing off that midline yesterday. Still consolidating up here. And silver, we do have a green day in silver too after getting a pullback after, really getting overextended here. Nothing too crazy yet. Still just kind of sitting here waiting for its next move higher. So now we'll look at the trading opportunities from today. We'll start with our volume analysis here on the S&P 500. As you can see, another day of decline here in the volume. We have been declining over the past 5 days here. With, not too directional here. Just, it kind of looks like a little slightly more buying than selling, but, fairly split here on the volume. Just really, really choppy action. Like the price action in the SPY. It's been going up, but this has been really just like brutal price action. We can look at the 5-minute here. So here we have the 5-minute on the S&P 500. We got that pretty garbage trading day yesterday, and today was just, the past 5 days literally been garbage trades on the SPY. As you can see, getting a nice gap up and then just selling straight off and then just going sideways the rest of the day and doing, pretty much nothing. We can zoom out a little bit more here. As you can see, we did gap up out above this upper extreme here on the 1 hour chart. As you can see, getting a sharp decline here, pulling back into this trade line. And, basically just bouncing between this trade line and this 1 hour extreme throughout the day. Closing right there above yesterday's highs. Yeah, we can look at the relativity now. As you can see, the NASDAQ, pretty much the same story here. Just getting its big gap up, sell off at the open, and then just dropping sideways. I mean, this is just ugly. But as you can see, the SPY did close above yesterday's highs, where the NASDAQ did close below yesterday's highs. When it comes to the trades, there was a couple. There was Shopify again. Shopify and Schwab. They were on the, we talked about those yesterday for trading opportunities. This isn't the greatest trade. The trades haven't been too amazing recently with this just really bad price action. Bank of America was nice yesterday, but as you can see, getting its push up, not much of a push up, but just its push up here, consolidation with its squeeze, and then just a slight pop up to new highs. As you can see here with that 15-minute trade line coming in to catch the bid and push it up there. But really not too much room here on the 2 hour to really extend. You can look at the daily chart. As you can see, just getting kind of like a slight continuation breakout from these highs from last Wednesday after bouncing off that midline with our squeeze here to the upside. So, it had a move, but, really not the best trade. There was Schwab again. Schwab did have nice earnings yesterday. As you can see, that earnings play we got yesterday with that nice breakout into the close. As you can see, you got its push up, pull back here, squeeze right on top of yesterday's highs and right above that daily 20 moving average. And then it did get its nice push up. I do want to note this did happen earlier around 10:45, 10:50. The squeeze did, which is typically before I like to enter trades. I usually don't like entering trades so after 11:30ish. So yeah, I didn't take this, but it was a good opportunity to take advantage of the earnings that it had. As you can see here on the 15-minute with that trade line coming up and catching the bid right there above yesterday's highs in order to push it up there to new highs on the day. We can look at the daily chart here. As you can see, just getting a push up here and running into that midline after that strong volume day we got yesterday. There was DraftKings. It didn't have the most volume, but it made a really nice move. As you can see, getting its gap up here, push up, consolidation with its squeeze. With that 15-minute trade line come in to catch the bid right here with a trade line VWAP cross right there at about 11:45, and then it just got a super nice extension here to the upside. We can look at the daily charts so you can kind of get an idea of what was going on here. Hold on one sec. Let me change these around here. Clean this chart up. As you can see, we'll start on the weekly. As you can see, getting a nice push up here off this weekly squeeze. Pulling back into that daily 20 moving average before just getting a nice bounce up here. As you can see with a daily squeeze to the upside here. Really just squeezing off that midline here and breaking out of this range. So yeah, really nice move here on DraftKings with its push-up squeeze here on that daily squeeze. Zoom out here on the 2 hour chart. As you can see, breaking above this, get that line a little better there. As you see, breaking above this key level here from the beginning of March, and then just extending up into this, kind of high towards this higher resistance level up here in from February. So yeah, really nice trade here on DraftKings. So yeah, these were the only ones I was really watching today. Oh, I do want to go over NVIDIA because I feel like NVIDIA could have got a lot of people because it was, kind of up here at the top of the scanner. It had a lot of bullish catalysts with Elon Musk buying a bunch of chips and all this. As you can see, NVIDIA here getting its big push up, pull back, consolidation right here at VWAP with the squeeze. It had a 15-minute trade line come in here to catch the bid, but as you can see, we did not get through it and get a push to the upside. We did break down. And, typically this is the kind of setup we like to see. We like to see this trade line come in, getting ready to cross VWAP here with a 5-minute squeeze. But I want to go over why this trade didn't work, like why this was not the best setup. And it's really all here on the daily chart. So you can see we were getting a squeeze. We did not have upward momentum yet. We still had downward momentum. But what I want to show you is this upper band. We were still inside of this band. We weren't squeezing up and out of it yet. So as you can see, just getting just a big rejection here at this daily extreme. And this daily extreme was sitting at $279.98. So we can go to the 5-minute here and we can plot that level. $279 and about 98 cents. We'll put it right there. It's close enough. As you can see, this was that upper extreme there on the daily chart. So you had a massive resistance level right here. So, I mean, it was a good setup with the 15-minute trade line coming up with a squeeze. I mean, it was chopping through VWAP at a pretty big pullback here. But I could definitely see with it being at the top of the board why, with our strategy, this would, be a really, trade you would want to take. And, honestly, if you did take it, it's not the worst trade, right? With your stop loss, just keeping your stop loss, moving it up right below this 5-minute lower extreme here, this 5-minute Bollinger Band to the downside. So say you got in, around here when this 15-minute was squeezing, right? So you're getting in here around 12:45, 1 o'clock, like right here when this cross is about to happen. So that's right here. So you're getting in right here. Your stop loss is literally just down here, right? You're not, I mean, if you, are comfortable with your risk and everything, and as this is coming up here, you're moving your stop loss up and up and up to it's just below this lower extreme here. Because if it goes below that lower extreme, it means it's a squeeze to the downside. And if you're getting a squeeze to the downside, you definitely want to get out of that. So yeah, I definitely like using this lower band as a stop loss. And it will continue to move higher as the trade progresses and continues to squeeze tighter. So even if you did get in here, I mean, you're just getting stopped out literally right here. So, in the upside would have been pretty high here, but, this was not the best trade to take, obviously. I'm going to show you why, but I could definitely see how this could get a lot of people because it was a nice squeeze, up here at the top of the gap vol scanner with a bullish catalyst. But the reason it did not get continuation to the upside is because it was running into a major resistance up here on the daily chart. Right? It already kind of got through it and then just got a super big wick, right up. It got up to it here and then just a massive rejection here at the open. Right? So you're not going to want to bet that it's going to get up through this major daily resistance level here. But I would definitely keep an eye on NVIDIA in case this does, get some type of gap up and squeeze. And we do, start squeezing to the upside here. But we did not have bullish momentum on the daily chart either. So, yeah. I just wanted to cover that because, that one, it had a pretty decent looking setup here, but it did not work out, as you can see with that 15-minute coming in, but was not able to get the cross, and it did break down here. Pulling into this 1 hour trade line here. And another reason, if you look up here on this 1 hour extreme, you can see right here at this 12:30 1 hour, it did break down back below this lower extreme, which would have been a lot of resistance too, right? The resistance would have been right up here. So there was just a lot of resistance to the upside here. Even though it had a nice 15-minute chart, a nice 5-minute squeeze, there was a lot of overhead resistance here, which is why this trade went to the downside instead of breaking to the upside. So, yeah, that was NVIDIA. But, yeah, and that's just another pretty bad day for the SPY. I feel like I haven't really traded the SPY in a long time. This price action has just been pretty garbage. I feel like this was the last... When was the last time we even traded the SPY? It's been a while. I think it was back here. This was the last trade on the SPY with this nice rising wedge here on this gap down. Besides that, I mean, as you can see, we had that nice pattern. And this was a pretty decent day here with this falling wedge for call options. But as you see, ever since these 2 days that had decent price action, I mean, just look at the price action. I mean, this is just really choppy, just, super volatile, really choppy, not really any good patterns or squeezes. And, most of these days are inside days, right? As you can see, most of the price action happened inside the previous day's highs and lows. Same here. Like the previous day's highs and lows, most of the price action happened inside of it, right? Previous day's highs and lows, most of the price action happens inside of it. Previous day's highs and lows, most of the price action happened inside of it. You know, same thing here, but just kind of chopping at the upper end of that range. So as you can see, not just really bad price action. You know, we really haven't got any breakout to either the upside or the downside. It's literally just been extremely, extremely choppy here. Uptrend. As you can see, just red and green, just switching back and forth there. Just really just on here at this 2-hour chart, as you can see, just kind of bouncing off this lower extreme and this 20 EMA here and just getting rejected up here at this upper extreme. Just really just bouncing through this area. So yeah, hopefully we can eventually get some type of breakout here out of this pattern, either to the downside or upside. I don't really care. I'm just tired of this really choppy, you know, uptrend we've been in. We are getting a decline in volume, so you know eventually that will lead to a breakout at some point where we do get another vol spike here. So yeah, red day here in the overall stock market. But yep, that should do it for the video. Appreciate y'all watching, and I will talk to y'all later.